It's time to take a final look at my wizard class build inside of Diablo Immortal because I'm going to be changing classes very soon, and I need this as documentation so that when I decide to come back to my wizard, I have the best build because I have put together a build that I absolutely love inside of Diablo Immortal for this wizard. Let's start out with my charm. First of all, we know charms are a lot of luck inside of the game, and I've had quite a bit of it. Ice Crystal, Magic Missile, 4% damage, Meteor, Ray of Frost, and Scorch. There's only one way that this could be better for me, and that is if Meteor were instead Disintegrate, but I have not had that opportunity yet. But this is a really fantastic charm that I will be saving upon my class change. I would say for you, try to get yourself, the best one that I love the most is the Magic Missile, even if it's plus 2%. As your primary attack, you're going to be using that the most. So go with that. If you're building out your charm, that should be your base. But let's take a look at the skills that I'm using inside of the game first. So we're going to come on over here to skills and really break down what we're using. Obviously, we're using Magic Missile. We have the charm damage, an extra 4%. Then we're also using a piece of gear that Magic Missile damage increased by 20% from our main hand. Love that. Magic Missile fires 2 additional missiles, each dealing 1,300 and change damage also. So we're really getting a lot out of our primary attack. Now let's get into our skills. Scorch is the one that I would pull here and there for teleport. If I'm using or doing some kind of PvP, I may also pull out Ice Crystal if I want to pop in teleport. But we got our basic teleport, our basic Scorch right here. No buffs on it besides the charm, 2% damage. Ice Crystal. I love the Ice Crystal. It drops so much damage, even if you don't drop either of your beams through it. And with this build, I have Ray of Frost and Disintegrate, which both could take advantage of Ice Crystal at the same time. Stay with me. I'm going to break that down even more for you. But with Ice Crystal, we have the extra charm damage as well. And you'll see as we get into how we broke down the gear, how it is worked out even better. Ray of Frost. Phantom Ray. Instead of me having to hold down Ray of Frost and shoot it the way that I would Disintegrate, I could click on the button, aim it through my Ice Crystal, and it will just stay there. It puts a little image of myself, a hologram. It'll shoot through it for, what is it, 6 seconds or something like that? Yes, something like that. For 5 seconds, dropping all this damage. It also, Ray of Frost will now freeze enemies for 2 seconds after taking damage from the Ray 6 times. Also, Disintegrate, we turned it into the Fiery Disintegrate, and we have it so it channels 3 additional beams. Super strong. I could drop my Ray of Frost through the Ice Crystal, and then I can use Disintegrate, dropping so much damage. I could even throw a Scorch Ball through it as well. Literally all of my skills would be attacking these mobs. This is the best setup that I have seen for my wizard so far. This is overall. I don't change it very much for PvP. But let's get into our build right now and actually see what gear I'm wearing and what gear is essentially the primary stuff that I wear. Starting with the primary gear, we're going with the Shiverscent Stare. Using this right here, your attack scatter, no, that's going to be the gem that we're using. Ray of Frost now freezes enemies for 2 seconds. We talked about that. The gem I'm using inside, and remember guys, the gems you use can be swapped out. Actually, let's get the gems in a minute. The piece of chest that we're wearing is the Waking Invocation. This is going to make your Ray of Frost the Phantom, so you could hit the button, it'll stay there, and then you could use your Disintegrate at the same time. That's essential for Ray of Frost, in my opinion, because Disintegrate is always stronger. It's always better, in my opinion. So if you had to only choose one, it would be Disintegrate. In this case, using this Waking Invocation allows you to use both at the same time. We have Searing Judgment. This one here, Disintegrate now channels fire, burning enemies. So you're getting burning damage over time as well, making Disintegrate stronger. The Chaos Nexus Pants also make Disintegrate stronger as you are channeling 3 additional beams. So as you shoot your primary beam, you have other beams shooting out as well at enemies behind you, on the sides of you, and it just drops extra damage. Now we're going to move on to Force of the Harakas, and here, Magic Missile damage is increased by 20%. Who wouldn't want an extra 20% damage on their primary attack? Everyone would. All right. Next and final piece of gear for our legendary gear we're looking at is Blaster Cast. This one here, magic missile fire, 2 additional missiles, each dealing 1,000 plus extra damage. Love that. It's again making magic missile stronger. So my top 2, they both work on Disintegrate. The middle 2, they work on Ray of Frost. Middle 2 both work on Disintegrate, and the bottom 2 both work on Magic Missile. Now for my secondary gear, I haven't been going crazy, if I'm being honest. I essentially put in the strongest pieces of gear that I can. If there's green arrows up, I'll use it. And I haven't been grinding as hard as I should for the actual set matches to get those extra buffs. So it really, it hasn't been the most important for me. I do like the War Rags of Shalbaz though. Primary attack damage increased by 15%. If I were to go for them, I would definitely be going for that. Now, there's other things I want to get into, and that's going to be gems. I want to show you the legendary gems that I'm currently wearing for this build. Now, of course, everyone is going to have different abilities and availabilities of gems. For me, I'm rocking all 5-star legendary gems. Now, they are not 5 out of 5 stars. They are 2 or 3 out of 5 stars. Now, you got to use what works for you and what you have. For me, I want the gem resonance, and I get more gem resonance from 5-star gems than I will out of 2 or 1 star. So essentially my focus there is gem resonance. The number 1 gem that I have, which I'm actually ready to move on to the next stage, is the blood-soaked jade. This one right here is it's gonna allow you to deal damage. It increases the damage that you deal. Now, who wouldn't want that? I mean, of course we all would. Next up, we have Seeping Bile. This one's going to do that poison attack. It's going to help you over time in your battles. That one right there is probably my second favorite gem that I wear. Then we have Phoenix Ashes, which is going to prevent you from dying. Phoenix Ashes in PvP, pretty much a must wear. I love the gem. My 4th favorite gem is going to be Echoing Shade, and no, not only because of the name, but because it allows me to summon shadow clones. It allows for me to have 2 extra wizards beside me attacking. So much attack damage. Usually they use Electrocute. I think primarily they always use Electrocute, but I love having the extra DPS from the shadow clones. I don't have control of when they're spawned, but I do really like the Echoing Shade gem. It's a 3-star, rank 4, the highest of all of my gems. Next up, we have the Howler's Call. This one right here, it's gonna make a spirit wolf that's going to barge forward straight into all the enemies ahead of me. It's good against mobs. Again, you don't have control over it, but it is a very nice gem to clear the way ahead of you. And finally, we are rocking the Bottled Hope. When you use this skill to grant a buff, increase the damage and movement speed of the target by 10.5% for 6 seconds. I just like this one as well. Bottled Hope is a solid one. If there was one gem that I would say is that I like the least of all 6, it would be the Bottled Hope. I would consider replacing it in the future with another gem, but we have to see what over time is going to be helpful to me. But for this build, I'd say we have number 1, Blood-Soaked Jade, number 2, Seeping Bile, and number 3, Phoenix Ashes. Number 4 would be Echoing Shade. Those 4, I probably will never take out, at least from my wizard build, and I would honestly most likely use them in all builds that I have in the future, because I absolutely love not only what they do, just how they build my resonance. Speaking of resonance, I'm currently sitting at 1,170 resonance. You could see the breakdown right there. Echoing Shade by far my highest. I do have another Blood-Soaked Jade right now in my backpack. I'm just waiting to, and it's right here. I'm waiting to get enough other gems to do this upgrade so that we can get ourselves to the next tier, and that will be really nice, getting that extra gem resonance. But I absolutely love this wizard build. I'm a little bit hesitant to switch from the wizard, but I want to switch things up a little bit. I want to change it, so we will be changing class, and that will probably be my next video for you guys. If you want to see what class I'll be changing to, make sure you subscribe and ring the bell and tune in for that next video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and this helps you build out your wizard so that you could be as in love with your wizard as I am mine. Have a great day, guys, and be good.